the move to Celtic, you're Young Player of the Year in Scotland in 1988, and a couple of years later you make that move to Celtic. The options that were in front of you at that stage, like Rangers with the dominant force, there was talk of Bordeaux. Was that a possibility?
Yeah, I've flew across to Bordeaux. I actually had agreed a contract with Bordeaux. I picked a house in 1990, but I headed off to the World Cup. The contract was not finished until after the World Cup. And while I was at the World Cup 1990 with Scotland, I got the phone call from my agent saying that Bordeaux had been demoted for financial irregularities. So that deal wasn't going ahead. I was a little bit disappointed. However, Celtic then phoned, Rangers phoned. So it was an exciting period for me as a young man.
Who are you talking to on the Rangers side?
Well, there was Graham Souness and Walter Smith were the managers at the time. And obviously Billy McNeill was the Celtic manager. It was exciting times, but as a wee boy, I was green and white. I grew up with a green and white strip from probably the age of 5 years of age on my back. So my dream came true in 1990, the day I signed for Glasgow Celtic. All my family, Celtic supporters, cousins, uncles, everybody. So it was a very special moment in my life. And I had 6 years, but it was 6 tough years in Glasgow because Rangers were so dominant.
It's hard to imagine now, considering how dominant Celtic have become, that is right in the middle of Rangers 9 in a row, and there's one trophy during the 6 years, albeit you're sort of the star man for that Celtic team during that period. In a way, does the fact that you had this boyhood love of the club make it easier to reflect on those 6 years? Well, there might have been 6 years of frustration, and some players might have looked back and gone, well, actually, I could have gone to Rangers, or maybe I could have gone to England, or maybe it could have been options. Actually, in a way, you were living the dream.
Yeah, no regrets at all. I mean, when you're playing for the club of your dreams in front of a fabulous Celtic support, I mean, it's special. However, it's tough times when anybody will tell you when you're second in Glasgow, it's tough. You don't go out very often because second is classed as failure. It's a horrible word, but the reality is in Glasgow, number 2 is failure. But looking back, young supporters nowadays probably don't realise it. Rangers were the biggest spenders in Britain, the biggest wage bill. Rangers had half the England international team. And their team, that Brian Laudrup, who came from AC Milan, Paul Gascoigne. They were probably a world-class team at that time. So it was no disgrace finishing second, although it felt a disgrace at the time.